Welcome, Balls and Brews. Cheers, boys.
Cheers, guys. 569.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, what are we drinking, Charlie?
It's very. I expected the sweetness. It's called Rumbach. It's it's Hellbach actually. It's a rum barrel aged Bach. So I was expecting it to be a little bit darker in color.
Same.
And then the body it's definitely very German for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And you get sweetness though that you don't normally get in the Bach, and that's probably from the rum barrel age, and that is interesting. So I think as it opens and it presents different notes, you might gather some different things, but it is a little different right now. It drinks at 8% from our boys down at Imbibe. Our
Charlie's always grabbing that kind of shit, you know.
I like the one-offers, dude. I like seeing shit I ain't never seen before.
Yeah, I'm all for that. Zach's just talking about getting us going on this high alcohol content.
Eight is fairly mellow in consideration to some of the things I've brought before.
I did have a sidebar. Talking about like one-offs and stuff. Do you think we should do a pod where we bring some of our favorites back?
Oh,
Like,
kind
of like.
I mean,
we should have.
it's not the worst idea.
Or a couple pods where we bring like, hey, remember
A revisit flight?
This churro fucking beer that was delicious.
Then we'd have to track them all down though again.
Right.
You know, sometimes with beers like that, you don't
It's hard
get the
to.
can selection repetitively, especially if we're talking months ago, or if it was a seasonal, or if like.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I think we should even have like an NCAA tournament style, like
Ooh,
beers go against each
fucking
other.
sick,
We
dude.
would just go all the way. See, we like.
Yeah. We've had a good amount of beers on this fucking pod, so
Yeah.
I mean, you know, we're only gonna try more. Hey now.
Yeah, you know, I was just thinking about the other day because I was thinking, man, maybe we should bring back, you know, Lead Dog peanut butter. We have, you know, some of those kind of ones that we all like.
We should have like, you know what it should really be is just, it should be like local battle versus like, you know, other battle, like, and then like
And then chance.
yeah, exactly. You do like
Yeah,
you do like
exactly.
a foreign, you do like just a local, and
Dude,
then you do
there's
the
some-
rest of the nation kind
There's
of
some
thing or
hot
something.
Lead Dogs that we've had on this.
That's what I'm saying. There's enough local good beer that we'd have to make a bracket out of just local beer for sure. Between Pigeon Head and Lead Dog and Imbibe and Sleeve, and there's so much good beer in this fucking city, dude. There's some good Fox beers. I don't know if they can it though. I don't know.
We have to get a. I was thinking we'd have to get a.
Oh, you can bring in your own growler or your own growler.
Yes, you can. You should be able to, right?
I'm not sure about that, but I definitely saw they had bottles and cans.
Cool.
Oh, they do. Okay. All right. Well, then yeah.
Fox is a hot one too. We had some good brewskis there.
I would say since they have transferred over from the Huntsman to the Fox, their beer got better. And I can always give a thumbs up to better beer.
Food good too.
Food good too. Yes, agreed. Yeah.
Trev had it the other week to complete the
The trifecta.
Christmas sandwich.
Yeah, and we'll see. We'll see what happens to this brewski. We'll see. It wouldn't be one I'd ask for.
I mean,
We'll see if it changes. Like
one of those, and just the idea that I saw it was just like, wow, that intrigued me.
different.
Yeah.
Now, what I also had at the brewery whilst I was there was I had a sample of their Golden Strong. It was called a Golden Belgian Waffle.
How's that?
Really good.
That sounds
It
good.
was really good.
Okay.
Yeah, that one was tasty. They didn't can or bottle that one though. That one was only on tap, and they wouldn't let me walk away with the higher percentages.
No
They
growlers
won't let
somewhere?
you go with
You don't get
takeaways.
You don't get growlers.
No, because it was that was a 10%. It was like 10.1. So, and it did not drink that way. Like I think that's the biggest make or break factor for high alcohol volume beer for me is if it feels more like liquory, or if it gets that just like pure alcohol punch and there's not flavor behind it, you know what I mean? Then I just get
That's like our boys over here at Voodoo behind us. They have the juice forces that are like 8%. Had one of those
they
off-
have great
had
flavor.
One of those
though.
off the tap.
Yeah,
Dude, that's a 9.
9. Yeah,
too, right?
9.
2 or something.
Yeah.
Like, off tap, they shouldn't be able to taste that good.
But I think any great like brew, if it has a high alcohol content, it's great because the like that Chuck was saying, the flavor like overtakes the
Yeah.
alcohol, It's not hard to drink. It tastes delicious. You don't notice how heavy that alcohol content
Because
is.
some of them they kick you in the teeth.
Yeah.
Oh
for
yeah,
sure.
if you've never had a barrel aged beer, or if you've never really stepped outside of the like normal beer sphere, because a lot of people kind of keep themselves in that shell of like lagers and maybe like a blonde here or there, or like something a very basic palate when it comes to beers, right? But I'll tell you, and they can tell you from experimentation, is that there's just way too much out there to try. I don't know. It's like food to me. It's why we kind of have a food segment as well, because there's just so much out there, right? Like,
we love it.
so yeah. I mean, I want to keep trying. I want to know. I get FOMO.
Talking about food, so we had to take. We met Lincoln's grandpa in Middlegate.
Okay.
So the lanes are in Mexico, so we were dropping.
Hell yeah, good for them.
Middlegate
Everybody
Station
going
has
Mexico.
the best fucking burger I've ever had. It's so delicious.
It's up there, huh?
Dude, and it's in a bacon cheeseburger.
Okay, yum.
And it's kind of like more like Kentucky, where it's a little bit thicker. It's
I like the full. I like the OG burgers, dude.
It was delicious, and it's like everybody you talk to that hunts always goes there because it's a big hunting area. There's only like 17 people in Middlegate, but they have the best burger.
Interesting. Now that is located where in Nevada?
It's you got to go through Fallon.
Okay.
So go
Okay.
50 through Fallon,
Okay.
and then you keep going down 50 that way, and you take a right, and it's like right there.
That's
Dude, this
podunk, brother.
This helicopter came in and landed.
That's the middle of fucking nowhere.
That's
That
one
is
in
out in
Nevada.
the middle of nowhere. Straight up. Yeah, okay, that's awesome. I love that. But like, that is not a destination for most people. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're not gonna be like, let's go to the fucking middle of Nevada.
Damn
Dude.
good burger though. That's like my favorite too. Is a single bacon
That's awesome.
and cheese, dude. That's like a single bacon
When
and
it
cheese.
smacks,
on
when it's layered right, you get the flavor of all of it.
Yeah.
Like a double bacon cheeseburger can just be too much, right? You kind of feel like your arteries are just clogging. Yeah, exactly. Like, but a single definitely.
What kind of drinks did you get to go on with that burger?
I just had a cruise like we had to drive back.
Anything
Smart
other
to know.
than-
Anything up in
there
the
wasn't-
VC?
no.
Nothing?
Oh, VC, we went up, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm going to touch that on my family.
Oh, that's right. Okay, sorry. Like, I don't want to. Yeah, we're not going to foreshadow too hard.
I just did a bunch of revisits. Went and saw the new Joker movie with Heather.
Ooh, what'd you
on
think?
Friday night. Man, that movie makes me feel a little crazy. Lady Gaga killed it though. She was great. She kind of stole the show.
Okay.
And yeah, just had a Lagunitas there. Also, when we went to Beefy's a couple times too. They have some
Surprisingly good beer selection there.
They got two.
Surprisingly good beer selection. Like, well deserved. Like, way above tap beer. You know what I mean? Yeah. Oh, dude, burgers. It's phenomenal.
But yeah, they have a couple Russian Rivers. They had Piney.
Nice.
The other, they had a Blind Pig. They had that bottled one that you got to try, that sour that they.
Nice. Yeah, I
It's a
remember you
bottle,
texted
but
me. Yeah,
still.
it was like a guava, I think. I think you said it was a guava sour. I was like, oh, it does perk my ears up. Before the pandemic, before 2020, they used to be like damn near a competitive bottle shop, like to craft. They had like 3 or 4 walls of like coolers that were damn good, dude.
Yeah,
Right?
that's surprisingly
Yeah.
good spot.
No, they used to have like legit like craft beers from all over the world and shit. And
Yeah.
like, I understand why you can't do that shit now. Like,
They still have a really good beer selection though.
shout, dude, and good burgers
Yep.
for sure.
Also hit up the Reno Public Market, had a Dirty Wookie on
That's a
tap.
go-to.
Oh, can't go
That's a
wrong with
go-to.
the dirty wook, dude. You can't. That's an all dayer for a brown for sure.
Had one of the Tintor, that blonde ale.
I like
The
that.
honey?
Got
The honey
that.
blonde?
Another
That's a good-
revisit.
That's
Yeah.
a good beer.
It's an easy drinker, dude. It's one of those that you can just find in my hand. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not upset.
I can't remember the name of the whiskey we had. It had, I think, Angel in the name.
Angel Envy? Angel,
that's
yeah,
what it was.
Angel's Envy.
They were the tall shots, man. They filled those.
Were
to
they?
the top,
Angel
too.
Envy is good whiskey too.
Yeah,
It's like
I
90
sipped it because I was enjoying it.
It's like a 90 proof too, I think.
I don't know. This beer's kind of settling with me pretty good now
Doing
as it
better?
goes on. Yeah, I kind of like it. It drinks pretty smooth for that 8% barrel age. Like, it doesn't punch you in the teeth or kick you in the
Kick
teeth.
you in the teeth.
Yeah, either way, nothing with the teeth. They hurt.
So let's jump into a little college football.
Oh,
boys.
well, college football.
So-
College went fucking nuts.
So I'm like looking at the schedule last Thursday. I'm like, yeah, this might be a weak weekend in college football. That was wrong. Go ahead, Trev. Give us some of the update or upsets since there was like 5 or 6.
Well, my page starts with our upset
Oh,
first.
dude, USC, dude, what the fuck, man?
Bad
What the
loss, Minnesota. My goodness. It was 24
in Minnesota, but still, you still got to get that dub.
Yeah, that defense, man, it's better, but it's not good enough yet.
And the offensive line is weak. And I've been saying
there's
all
some
year,
holes.
dude, it's going to get him killed. He doesn't run good enough, dude. Poor Miller Moss, man.
I mean, he's still making some good plays.
Out of the rankings, too, boys. Out of the rankings.
Yeah.
That's a big drop. That's
11,
plus.
They were 11 at the time.
Yeah, so 14, that's 15 spots at least, because they might be 26th, you don't know.
Right.
Then Mizzou just gets blown out, or A&M just takes it to them early.
Beats the tread off of those.
41-10 was the final.
Yeah.
Was Texas A&M ranked going to that game?
25th.
Yeah, they were 25th, so they were
So
at
they
the
jumped all
end.
the way up to 15.
Yeah, their only loss was to Notre Dame to that point.
And then
And we got Connor Wigman back that game too.
Mizzou fell all the way to 21 with the loss. But
So they're hanging
still
on.
both 4-1 though, aren't they?
I believe so.
No, A&M's 5-1. A&M's 5-1.
Oh, they're 5-1. Okay.
You know who's 1-5? Florida State.
Yeah.
Bad fucking season to be a center.
Clemson took them down. It was 29-13 in that one.
DJ Uiagalelei.
Dude, he's not good.
Not
though.
helping a.
He's not. He's, man, just a top prospect that just never really took that next step.
No.
What else we got? We got SMU upsetting Louisville.
That was a great game.
It was
That came down to
22,
it, yeah.
but that was one of the better games of the weekend.
SMU's 25 now. Louisville not.
All right. Yeah, Louisville was 24, so that makes sense.
Let's see.
Come on, give me some. Keep going. There's a really good game
The
out there.
next one is a really good one. Is that Alabama Vandy?
Dude, that's crazy.
Jesus
that was
Christ,
one thing
dude.
you could have told me that was gonna happen. I'm like, no fucking way.
Yeah,
I would
same.
have.
You would have put your mortgage on it, kind of thing.
I don't know about that. Dude, like
Good for Vandy.
Any of the other ones, I'd have been like, oh, okay, maybe.
They went 0 for 60 against top AP5
Is Vandy ranked?
school.
They
gotta
are
be.
not.
No, they shouldn't be. They're still not necessarily that team. They had a good game. They played a very good game
I mean,
against
the score was
Alabama.
high though. What was the score in that game?
40
to 35. Yeah.
So that's still, I mean, Bama's defense not getting it done. Letting Vandy kind of
Not
get
at
down
all.
the field.
I mean, that's not really, no 62 to 30 Boise State
Oh,
over
dude.
Utah State.
Let's pause with that score. So our boy at Boise State.
Why is that so important?
Well, the dude at Boise State right now is number one in the Heisman according to ESPN. He's got 95 carries for 1,031 yards. He tied an FBS record of only needing 5 games to get to 1,000 yards, and he's got 16 tutties. He's averaging 10.9 a carry, fellas.
So he's the best running back in college football right now.
Easily.
I mean, it's right now he's the best offensive weapon in college football, and it's not even close. Consistently, 10 yards a carry, dude.
That's
Like,
crazy.
That is absurd.
Crazy.
Five games in. So it's not to say that this has been a fluke or this was just like one game raised his average super high. Like, he's doing this. Like, now granted, since he is in the Mountain West, they did play Oregon. They lost to Oregon, but he still had a stellar game. He still had like 135 and 2 tuds. Like, he wasn't.
And that's
like,
tough to do against a good
Fuck
school
yeah,
like that because you fall behind.
Well, and especially when you're the only weapon.
Yeah.
Especially when they can cue in on you and be like, well, let's take this guy away. Well, you still didn't necessarily do that. You just stomped them in every other facet of the game. But, like, no, this kid right now is
Climbing
doing
up those
things.
draft boards.
But see, I don't even doubt. So I was going to say I'm with Downey on that. I don't think the running back stock will ever be able to rise.
He's climbing up.
him.
He's climbing up the draft board. He's still not probably
He's not
first
going to be a
round.
first round guy.
How fucking crazy is that? How crazy is that?
I don't know. He might be. We don't know. Like,
We'll see how this
We'll see how it goes. But and that's also how's he tested? Is he actually that fast? What's his 5-yard split? How quick is he? Because that could jump you into the first round. All of a sudden you have the numbers, and then you're
Those underwear Olympics, man, they put a lot of stock into those fucking analytics sometimes.
But it matches what you see on the field too.
They can. I don't know. Sometimes, like, just because you test crazy at the combine does not mean you're going to be an OG. And
I think the Senior Bowl lately has been a huge another factor. Because you see him playing against other all top seniors and stuff.
They put a lot more stock into it recently.
Yeah, they have, and more people are showing out though. Look at Brandon Fisk, the rookie with the Rams. Look how far he moved up the draft board with his Senior Bowl showing and his they're like actually he's pretty quick. Just the combine numbers. Help out what this video says.
Let's see. what else we got on this?
Yeah,
Let me
Trev.
pull my foot back up. Oh yeah, Tennessee going down to Arkansas.
That was a low-scoring
19 to
game.
14.
19-14, yeah. That
Yeah.
game, and Arkansas had to come back. Tenney had the lead, and Arkansas took the lead. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
Tenney should hold on to that. That's not how that narrative should go.
Mm.
Now, it was in Arkansas.
Tennessee's at number 8 now.
Okay. So they gave him the close battle on the road test.
And
basically.
Arkansas isn't in.
Is it right?
Yeah.
They're like being either one of those other SEC schools that's
Yeah.
kind of there.
Well, because the
They're good,
voters,
but-
the voters kind of know what the rest is. That those teams aren't going to continue to win. Yes, they won these weeks, right? But they're
Football-
going to
football
probably
happened.
drop 4 or 5 more games each. Like, what's the point in putting them in the rankings right now?
Indiana's 6-0, boys.
I did not know that. I did not know that.
Number 18 in the nation.
They must have. So they haven't gone through their Big Ten schedule yet, or they
Yeah,
just started it,
they
right?
have.
Who have they played then?
I don't know.
That's
I
got
can
to
check
be.
real quick. They just beat Northwestern.
Okay, yeah.
But they put in a hand on
Bottom 10 though, or Big 10 though.
Yeah, Maryland, Charlotte, West Illinois, FIU. That's
Yeah, so they have not played the big dogs
No.
in the Big Ten yet. Which I mean, for them, hey, you are what your record says you are at that time, right? They're 6-0. Hang on it, dude, until you get beat. But they're probably gonna.
And then how about them Huskies,
Big
huh?
dub. Big dub.
27-17 over number 10 Michigan
Yeah.
at the time.
In?
I believe that was in Washington.
It was in Husky Stadium.
Yeah, they stormed the field afterwards.
The Canes had to come back from like 24 down.
How
there.
about
they
boy
came
Johnny
every
Green
week,
there?
Dude, I hope he
How about-
stayed.
Oh, dude, why wouldn't? Oh, that's true. They were down
No,
35-10.
4-4.
Do you ever leave?
Yeah.
He's not. I never leave. You never leave. Not
So you're
until.
trying to get out of the stadium, you got kids, it's time to go.
Well, they don't have kids, did they?
I don't think they do.
Anyway, but like, no, I do hope he stayed because that would suck. Because Miami was down 35-10. We had a buddy. Hopefully, Johnny, you're listening to this at some point. That was out there for college game day out in Berkeley, and witnessing a 25-point comeback for your program because he worked there. He has ties to that school big time. Like that's
Crazy. 39-38, dude.
Absurd.
That's one of those games that you're
Absurd.
like, that's like a game you catch late and you go, oh shit.
It didn't end until like 11:30, dude. It was like a 4-hour game. It was long. And it was great towards the end. Miami did everything. Cam Ward is battling, dude. He needs to clean a couple of things up if he really wants to be the true prospect in the NFL. But overall, there's eyes on him. He's got Miami winning the games. A win's a win. You can say, oh well, you're down by 25, yeah, but it takes resiliency to come back and win.
And yeah, to win those close games too when it gets close, and because they've had that, and he's got to be up there for Heisman. It's got to be.
Yeah,
some
he's
of those
been playing
impressive-
good ball. No,
He
I
has
agree.
been.
And we love the quarterbacks.
Of course. And then for the rest, as far as the upsets go, like Syracuse taking down UNLV as soon as they get ranked top
Yeah.
25.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because okay. Sidebar within this conversation because we haven't had a conversation about this at all. So this is a live discussion. I really want to know how do you guys feel about Homeboy pulling out
Chicken shit.
Okay, yeah, quarterback Siliak or Silly, what the fuck ever, it's something with an S.
You would know better than me.
Okay.
Going back to Cam Ward, Mel has him as the 4th quarterback right now. You guys see that article I sent you? That they had the top 10. Mel had his top 10. They got Cam as number 4 right now.
Okay. But okay, I still think that this presents a bigger potential issue, right? Of can we do this? Can we just not play?
Dude, like you just redshirt yourself because you didn't get your NIL deal.
Yeah. Do you just stop? Do you just forfeit? You're no longer on the team. Does it
Yeah, he's
get
not-
another spot? Like
Well, because they were like, the circuit even offered to pay the $100,000 once that article came out, and he said no, thank you. We don't associate with him anymore, or something like that. So
So yeah, that is that.
yeah, he's toast.
Yeah, bad move. But I mean, I think we'll see more stuff like this with
I hope not.
deals and contracts.
that sounds
They just gotta
terrifying.
clean it up.
It sounds absolutely. It's the Wild West out there. There's really no laws or regulation to it. It's crazy, and especially with all of the conferences just expanding and changing and. I love NIL in bare principle. The kids should absolutely be able to make money off of their name, image, and likeness within, they're 18. Like, I don't know. It's funny that 17-year-old in Alabama, Ryan Williams, would he be able? Right. Is he eligible for an NIL deal because he's 17, or do you have to be 18 for an NIL deal?
I'm guessing he is because he's in college. I don't know.
How crazy is that, though?
His parents might have to watch it or he gets it. I don't know how that.
Sure, I'm just saying there's just all sorts of individualized situation. It's not policed at all.
Yeah.
At all. It's the Wild West. And it's basically just like you hear these numbers and you're assuming that's what he's making.
So if the season ended today, you got your top 12.
Okay.
Texas 1, Ohio State 2, Oregon 3, Penn State 4, Georgia 5, Miami 6 at 6-0, Alabama 7, Tennessee 8, Ole Miss 9, Clemson 10, Iowa State 11, and Notre Dame in at 12, which they actually wouldn't make it because Boise State would take their place as the top
12
Power 5,
right? Yeah.
Power 5 team to be in it. I'm pretty sure they would. I think because Notre Dame is independent, they don't win the division. So Boise State would actually take that spot.
Mm-hmm.
How does that work for?
We're gonna find out.
But it also wouldn't go that way either
Maybe.
because I don't think I called out a Big 12 seat. Oh, Iowa State would be the Big 12 champion, so they would actually be number 4. That'd be
Wait,
crazy.
no.
They're still in the Big 12, aren't they? Pretty sure.
Yes.
Well, okay. Sidebar within a sidebar.
Some of those conference championships
would change, and Notre Dame would probably get in that way after.
I also think we've talked about this, but re-clarify. If you win one of the Power is 4 now, right? There's not
If
5.
you're one of the Power 4s,
you
one
get
through
1.
4.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Golly.
So right now, the top Big 12
I don't know if I
team
like
would be Iowa State because
Yeah.
Utah's down farther. You have a lot of Big 10.
And everyone's all the way to the 4th seed overall.
Yeah, that's all Big 10 and SEC except for Miami.
I guess it's just like anywhere else.
Clemson.
Really.
So you have
win
two
your
AC
division. You host.
You have two ACC teams right now, and then you have one.
Yeah, just the Big 10 and the SEC, just running shop. Because there's also like
5
36
SEC
teams.
5 SEC, and you have 1, 2, 3.
I'm kind of surprised it hasn't already moved to just them shortening it from 4 to 2 between the SEC and the Big 10. Because the ACC and the Big 12, yes, they're good conferences, but they're not those conferences.
They're only going to get
there's
one
a
each.
gap there.
Yeah, they're only going to get 1 each, I bet.
No, well, that's why the top tier from the Big 12 moved into the SEC because they knew that they needed that because the Big 12 couldn't hoist them as a conference.
Well, I mean, they don't need it yet, but I think that's coming.
No, but yeah, Texas and Oklahoma were, I guess if you were wise to get out of the Big 12.
I mean, if you get into the SEC,
right? Yeah. No, Mizzou did it earlier,
And Texas A&M, they both did the same time.
Yeah.
That was a crazy weekend, man.
Yeah, good college football.
Crazy when you don't even expect it either,
Four out of the top 11 teams were upset.
Correct.
No, they were all on the road, right? So I mean, those are always going on the road is a tough place to win, no matter where you're at. So that might have made a difference. But yeah, 4 out of the top 11. It's only the second time in since the AP top 25 had become a thing that had happened. That's nuts.
That's good. I mean, I think it kind of shows that I think it does show that NIL might be evening the stakes a little bit with other teams being able to get some instead of just going to Alabama and all to Georgia. Some of these other schools are getting some of these guys. So I think it does show that they're starting to be it's starting to kind of even out.
Yeah, I mean, we're still early in that process. So again, with that as well as some of the regulations, hopefully, it smooths itself out a little sooner than later.
And Ohio State, Oregon this weekend, right?
Is that this weekend?
Yes, correct.
You're right.
That is Saturday. That is for sure top bill. That's QB3. Is what you're saying.
Any other big matchups, Trev, before we bounce into the
Texas, Oklahoma.
Dude, because that could fuck Texas, dude.
Those two know each other very well.
What time is that Ohio State Oregon game?
The Ohio State Oregon game is at later game, 4:30.
Perfect.
For us,
And then the
West
Texas Texas or
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
always like the 9 a.m.
Yeah,
time,
it's
right?
gonna be like 1.
No,
like,
I bet it's 9 a.m. our time.
Let's see.
Right,
That one
and you
is
know-
12:30.
Oh, 12:30.
Middle
Big,
of the day.
big noon
Yeah,
is
big noon
Washington versus Iowa this upcoming week.
Also have LSU Old Miss 9 and
There you
13
go.
at the
Yeah.
what they have on ESPN. I don't know if those rankings have been updated, but yeah, that's another ranked game that should be good. Hopefully.
Yeah, because that would really it fucks both. If whoever loses that game is kind of almost done. Like you lost in the SEC, and it's your second loss in the SEC, right? Because LSU
Yeah.
lost already.
Well, they opened up with a loss to SC.
Yeah, boy.
But did they lost again? Are they at 2 losses?
No, just
Okay,
you guys.
so-
Just the one.
so
But that would give them 2.
But Ole Miss would have
Has
2 losses.
one,
would
no.
have 2 losses in the SEC.
Right.
That would be bad.
That'd be bad.
Yeah.
You don't want 2
Bye.
losses. You don't want conference wise. You don't want your 2
No,
losses.
it's tough. Yeah.
No. Ole Miss and LSU but only have one loss.
Right.
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 But one
So-
was in conference, one was out. So that does kind of
Yes.
help your
Yes.
in conference stuff.
It does screw though that LSU now lost to an unranked SC.
Yeah.
Yeah, it hurts a little more.
All right, so boys, let's jump in baseball. Baseball playoffs have been fucking really good, man. We've seen a lot of close games, a lot of comebacks in the like 9th inning.
Dude, bravo to the MLB for just knowing how to do playoffs. Seriously, they just get them done. They, series move, series are compelling. Like, it's crazy that after 162 games, the teams on the outside looking in were only one game out, 1.5 games out, like right there, right? Like, but good action, man. Right now we got the NL going tonight.
Yeah, so yesterday was game 1 for everybody.
Sure.
You have the Guardians crush the fucking Tigers 7-2. Mets put a kind of beating on the Phillies too, 6-2, man. They had what, like a big 8?
Yeah,
Chuck,
they had
big
5
eight?
and 8. Yes, that's correct.
Then you had the Royals and Yankees had a hella close game, 6-5, where there's a controversial call with
5
Chisholm.
lead changes.
With
Damn.
Chisholm,
The first time in a postseason game
Damn.
ever.
That'd be a good one to be at.
and then the Dodgers beat the Padres 7-5, which was close too. They were both back and forth too for a little bit. And then tonight, the Phillies have a walk-off.
Yeah.
A walk-off
beat the Mets.
to beat the Mets. Yeah, fuck yeah.
We've
So
spoken on
that's-
this, but that's probably the sickest way to end a game is a walk-off.
Because you don't get a walk-off in football unless it's like end of the like.
Right. Well, it's going down to zeros.
Right.
You know it's the last play of regulation. In baseball, you only really know that if there's 2 strikes against the batter with 2 outs. It's like it comes down to 1 pitch, but it's not to say that that's the final pitch. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
At zeros, you get 1 play left in the NFL.
Yeah, not a play clock there.
Yeah, no. So a walk off happens when especially the homer. It's cool when it happens on a walk off single or whatever. Those are cool too. But dingers are the best.
A walk-off in playoffs too, because you're just taking a game. You're taking
Yeah,
someone's heart.
right.
Your
No,
soul.
I mean, you still do that in the other sports, but it is being that it's not a regulation or time regulation sport like with basketball or football. You still get those plays, that last second buzzer beater.
Yeah, right.
I mean, that last second touchdown. But
Well, as a Curry fan, you've seen plenty of last second buzzer
and I
beaters.
loved it so much. I love that man.
And right now the Padres are up 3-1 on the Dodgers. So I know we picked our stuff, but who are you like? If you could, who do you want to see with the four
At
games
this
going
point,
on?
well, no, yeah. At this point,
Who are you rooting for? In the NL?
anybody but the Dodgers in the NL.
Okay.
I mean, kind of the same. I know the media wants that, but being a Giants fan, I have to root against that.
I just don't. I'm sick of the fucking Dodgers. I've
like
been sick of the
watching
Dodgers.
I know, dude, show
I understand. The show is for sure. He's a big dog.
I'm
He
rooting
is.
for the Phillies.
Right. No, and that makes sense. I could see that one. I know that you've been pulling for them for a while. And then in the AL,
You got Royals, Yankees, Tigers, Guardians.
literally anybody other than the Yankees.
See, and I think I picked the Yankees.
But I'm fine with the AL Central.
But I want to see Judge there. I want to watch Judge hit. Like watching him play the game of baseball, super fun.
I just
If
don't want to
he's-
see the pinstripes.
Yeah, it's the same way for me. Like I like.
Dodgers Yankees would be
That would blow-
vomit inducing.
Dude, that would blow media minds.
Yeah.
I hope it's the Phillies. I would love if the Royals got back there. That would be cool.
No,
the
I-
Guardians getting there would be kind of cool, but they don't have the names. Like
I
seeing
understand.
Bobby, seeing Bobby Witt Jr. play shortstop in the World Series would be sick. Kid for the Royals, keep your eye on him.
No, if any of the other matchups happen, the MLB would not be as they are pulling for
Dude, they
Dodgers.
want Dodgers Yankees.
Oh my god.
Even Phillies Yankees would give them huge numbers.
Phillies Yankees would, yes, because the East Coast market is deep in baseball for sure.
Mets Yankees, they're struggling. The MLB's struggling with Tigers, Guardians, and fucking Royals.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
unfortunately,
man,
that
dude,
AL Central wouldn't put up
The
numbers.
Guardians, dude, that'd be if they could get there and win, they've been one of the teams. They have the longest losing streak now, right?
The Guardians?
Yeah.
Sean's calling it. Yeah, yes, because the Cubs beat them to end.
Yeah.
It was the two longest. So it was like, one of them's going to fucking break it. That was, hands down, probably the best World Series I've ever watched, like, game for game. I remember how much I enjoyed the fuck out of that. Like,
Zach just beat me.
did he? It's okay.
It was down. Went on you, Chuck.
I'm so glad that I'm so glad playoffs are going on. The baseball playoffs are so fun. Like they are so good because a lot of games are close. You don't usually see the 7-0.
Sure. No, you're right. They're intense as fuck. They're like, especially if you know the game, because it's not one of 162. Like this is one of 3 or one of 5, or if you're lucky, one of 7 if you can get far enough. But once again, I've spoken to this many times, and thank you MLB for knowing that 3, 5, 7 is beautiful.
3, 5, 7, 7.
Yes. Still enough to have determinant factors of who won the series, right? Like it gives everybody off. NBA 7-7-7-7 is
too much.
Unruly. 2 months. It's 2 months of postseason. So thank you MLB for knowing how to get it done in 3 weeks.
Thanks for dropping NBA though. NBA and NHL preseasons have both started. Boys.
They sure have.
So in the next, we'll have to check when the season starts. So we'll have to look at getting our NBA picks. So keep an eye out for our NBA picks.
That will be actually can't be too far away.
It's gonna be interesting to see.
They start at the end of October.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting seeing everybody's picks, man. It really is.
There's been a decent amount of movement, and I don't know.
I've heard number one of these.
The East is interesting. The West is.
The West
I would
seems
say
less, doesn't it? To you, all of a sudden, how much the East seems like it's like the top of the East seems really like tough.
Well, it seems very top heavy.
Correct.
Is the thing, right? So calling the top one will probably be hard, but getting like the right 3 or 4 in different order will probably not be too tricky.
Knicks, Celtics, Milwaukee Bucks, 76ers.
There you go, right there. You're gonna rotate those
and then
4.
depending on how the Cavs can come together, they got a new coach too.
And you still
They do every year.
Yeah.
Orlando should be in the mix.
They played above their head last year. We'll see if they
What's
can take a step
Miami
forward.
gonna do again?
Miami should be in the mix.
Miami, yeah. Well, you can't count Spoelstra out, and if Jimmy Buckets comes back,
One of the best, if not the best coach in the league, definitely top 3.
I mean, Pop hasn't had the success recently because the roster's been not very good, but I still think he is probably the best active coach.
We get to see Wemby this year. If Chris Paul's in the Spurs, that would be
Is that where he ended up going?
Yeah, that'd be interesting if he's just dishing.
How is he still hanging on?
Defensive liability. All he's there is to like help Wemby.
I have never really liked Chris Paul, even back as far back as New Orleans, and like I always just thought he was turnover prone. He's a whiny little dude, like, and he is, man. And then they made the finals when he was on the Suns, and that was a great finals between them and Giannis. That was a great finals, yeah. But overall, never been a fan of Mr. Chris Paul. So and. It's weird. I've always had a soft spot for the Spurs because I love David Robinson. I love Tim Duncan. I loved those teams. I fucking loved those teams in the early thousands because they were the only hope to beat the Lakers in the West, and that was a huge thing for me.
Well,
because I couldn't pull for the Kings. I can't pull for the Kings. I loved me some white chocolate, but I could never get down with the Kings. I didn't like Chris Webber a whole lot back then. Doug Christie, Mike Bibby, like. Lade, they were whiners for sure.
Yeah, and I think the Spurs coming from a smaller market were a little bit easier to root for if they were playing their team.
Good squads, dude. Yeah. They played great basketball for a long time, dude.
Yeah, they were one of the. They should have beat the Heat twice. Ray Allen just hit a crazy 3.
Jesus Shuttleworth, baby. Ray. I love that boy.
He should otherwise he doesn't hit that 3. They lose back.
Right, correct. Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
We're gonna take a break. Come back with some hot NFL Me and Trevor are going to sit here and wait for Charlie to finish his
I'm gonna
beer.
finish this.
But we're going to go check out some baseball and see if the Steelers game started.
Oh yeah, dude. Okay.
Cowboys,
Check it out.
Steelers.
See you soon.
Welcome back to Balls and Brews. Cheers, boys.
Cheers.
Cheers, gents.
I'm excited for this one.
Yeah, I haven't had a good red in a while. Hoping this is that.
I like that. That's easy drinking right there.
You say, huh? So Joseph Brau, again from San Jose, California, drinks at a 7.2. It's called Drive Through Red, a dry hopped red ale.
I like it.
Okay.
Boys, what do you think?
It comes off very sweet for it being dry hopped. Maybe let me give it another.
Make sure that's not those
The candy, it
Swedish
might be.
fish you're eating.
Yeah, because I don't really get any sweet. Do you?
Well, I also had some Swedish fish, so I have a little sweet in my mouth.
I get maybe a tad. But I really like it. I think it's very mellow. It definitely doesn't taste like a 7.2.
I think it's a Swedish fish.
I got more of a drier pull on that second one, for sure.
I like it. Good
Good.
job, Trev.
Yep.
I mean, Joseph Brau.
Kicking butt right now. They're like 3 for 3. Unlike, you know who's not coming to the fucking
The barbecue.
the fucking
cookout.
goddamn Sweet
Tournament.
16
They got
tournament.
left out.
It's Dust Bowl. Not one of those Bruceys making it.
They make the cut.
They just and it's bad, dude.
And usually we have enough of a brewery that usually you can get one that's like, damn, that one's was really good. Usually you don't go over. They had one that was okay, but
Right.
you didn't even get a good
There
one.
was one that was mid tier. You're right. There was one that was mid tier, but not one that was like, yo.
And usually we get one that's like, damn.
Yeah. No, right home about.
Yeah.
Do we have one of those other tournaments for the bad brews?
Or a comeback tour or something.
I don't want to revisit the bad ones. No,
I
I
mean-
mean,
we really haven't had very many bad ones.
Well, it's
honestly.
fantastic.
There's been
I
a
do
couple here and
appreciate
there
that.
that have been.
I think what it comes down to is
NIT tour, or
not in tournament. Hey man, they still make cheddar.
all right.
Just speaking of making cheddar, hey, before we launch into game by game, you know what happened this fucking week, you guys?
We actually hit a bet.
We hit our fucking parlay.
There we
You
go.
goddamn right.
We are
Check
winners
it out
for the
on X
season.
and Instagram. Yeah, we're up $40 total now. Whoop whoop. So it means we got to flip some more shit.
We'll hit them at those games. So let's start with obviously the international game is the first one, early morning. Jets lose to the Vikings 23-17. The Vikings are fucking 5-0.
Who saw that coming? Not nobody.
Not nobody.
I don't even think people in the building were like, we're going to start out 5-0.
I don't know, man. They kind of saw the Darnold stuff happen. He didn't have a good game this game. It was their defense that did the dub this week, man. They put a beating on Aaron, dude. They hit him all
That
day
defense
long.
has been great. I
And
mean,
Brian
ugly
Flores-
win is a win.
We've been saying it for
Flores
weeks.
is going to be a head coach again.
We've been saying it for weeks. Flores is right now one of your if they give a coordinator awards. He's best coordinator of the year right now.
For defense, and I mean O'Connell's looking good for offense as well as coach of the year. You have Darnold comeback player of the year.
Did have a big injury today.
Which
Jones got hurt, running back.
Yeah, that did hurt their
Dude,
offense.
what was the update on that? Is he significantly downgraded, or was it just
he didn't
the
play-
rest of the game?
I thought he was they thought that they
It
might
was a
need to pick
hammy,
somebody
right?
up.
Or it was his leg, wasn't it? His leg.
Yeah, it was. I thought it was his leg. Hold on, I'm seeing if it has an injuries. Jets. Aaron Jones left second quarter with a hip problem. Was
Yeah.
later ruled out.
Okay.
It doesn't give a
No
update,
update from
but
there.
yeah,
No,
got a
well,
hit.
get better soon, Aaron Jones, because that offense is better with you.
But if Sam Darnold continues playing the way he's playing, then what do you think
They
about
got a hard decision to make.
Yeah, that's what I was going to bring up. Is
because
there's a lot of teams that would still probably pay you a first round pick for that guy.
You hold
McCarthy
Sam
or
Darnold.
Darnold?
But then you have to
Or-
you have to pay Sam, and then you're like his number gets too high, and you can't pay him.
Yeah, I mean it depends on
That's the
exactly
other
how
thing,
the
too.
year plays out.
You have 5 years of full control of McCarthy.
But if
Guaranteed.
Darnold gets you into the playoffs, what if he? I mean, the
I
Vikings
understand.
are looking like
I-
the best in the
right
NFC.
now, they're the
if
number-
they win the NFC,
Right now, they are head and
you
shoulders
have
above
to
the
resign
rest
him
of
if
the
that
NFC.
happens. and then
But
you
how
can
high is
move.
how high is the number, and then what?
That
you-
exactly
yeah.
versus you get McCarthy at that
Yeah, I
low
don't think
end
it
for
matters.
at least 3.5 years.
At that point, I don't think it matters. I think that's.
I mean,
it
winning
only
is
matters
winning
if
is
you're
winning.
not winning the
Winning
NFC.
is winning for sure, and you're gonna bet on the guy who's winning. Yeah, and then you still do have McCarthy on the back end in case Darnold makes the fucking nose fall, right?
It would be crazy if they dished him without even him playing.
One more touch on this game before we move on. Jets threw it 54 times today. You're not going to win games like that. Your offense line's not that good. Aaron's going to take a beating. He's going to be sitting, and Tyrod Taylor's going to be in pretty soon.
Doing the exact opposite of what I think they should be doing. They have two great running backs.
Nathaniel Hackett's an awful coordinator.
Yes, he is. We all know that, I think.
Next game, boys, was pretty good ass kicking. Bears 36, Panthers 10. Charlie, what do you think? I know your guy. You had your starter.
Yeah, dude, Caleb Williams finally starting to make some true noise. I think the Panthers fell back down to earth. They had the juice from the one game of, Andy Dalton comes in, knows how to read a defense, plays against the Raiders well. And then there's immediately tape on him. Coaches go back, watch the tape, say, okay, this is what we're going to do against Andy Dalton. And then he looks regular again. He's a good quarterback, but the reason why he never won a Super Bowl or even got past, did he ever win? They went 0-6, didn't they, in the wild card?
Yeah, I don't
Him
think
and Marvin Lewis
won the AFC for sure.
No, not won the AFC, even won a wild card. They went to 7 straight playoff games, and I don't think they won a single one.
I don't think so either.
That's Marvin Lewis. That was
Yeah,
his
that was
tenor.
Marvin.
Yeah,
Correct.
exactly.
But
So
this-
that's what he is, though. He's good, but he's not the dude. And I think they came back down to earth. Definitely. They
Well, I
started
mean,
to last week, and definitely this week.
I still think they should have beat the Panthers, but I'm starting to regret how high I was on the Bears and Caleb Williams. That offensive line and that play call and still.
Shane Waldron is a bag, but
Oh man,
I watched some plays out of Caleb today because
I've seen that all year. That's why I thought he.
I was red
gonna do it
zoning,
this
and
year
they
for
showed
him.
some of his. He had some crazy, some USC style highlights today where he was. Now one got called back, a tutty got called back that wasn't his fault, but he was making motherfuckers miss. He was throwing
He's
pretty
gonna be
decent
good.
dots. He's showing what you need to see, and yeah, the offensive line is so tough to get right. Every team knows they need a good offensive line, and
There's
how
a
many
lot
of
of
them
bad-
actually have
there's a
them?
lot of bad
A lot
offensive
of them.
lines,
Why is that? After all the equity and all the everything that goes into that, and there's still boo-boo offensive lines.
They still have their holes, but they have been playing together. I mean, I think that's just playing all the games that they've played up until this point. The run game has drastically improved for Chicago, and I think that, if they can keep that going, then they still can be that team that's in the mix. But there's still those
You've got a tough
questions.
division you're fighting.
Yep.
You're fighting Lions,
Yep.
Packers, and now the Vikings.
Yup. God damn,
No,
that division
not
is-
now. The Vikings, they
So
are
good.
the top. They're not.
Well, I'm saying you.
right.
that's
You
who
went into this season thinking
that you were competing against just
the Packers and the Lions.
and
Yeah.
it's now the Vikings too.
That whole division.
that whole division's rocking and
They
rolling. Man.
legit could be the first to get 4.
Dude,
With the way the NFC West is playing right
maybe
now,
with the way the NFC, yeah.
we'll
is.
revisit
And
that
East,
soon.
well, I don't know. Commanders balling out. Okay, so best
That's
game of the
NFC
day.
East, but the rest behind them, the Eagles are not hot. The Cowboys are not hot.
We all know how I feel about Nick
The Giants
Sirianni.
just won today. God
That's
damn
not.
it.
Let me get some of those fishies. Next game was probably the best game of the weekend. Ravens 41, Bengals
dude,
30.
That was an amazing game.
Damn.
Amazing game. Lamar Jackson had a touchdown to Isaiah Likely that was one of the most unbelievable highlights I've seen. He stiff-armed
he likes
Hendricks
you.
down to the ground a couple of times and then rolled all the way to the boundary, threw against his body and in between 2 fucking defenders in the end zone to find Isaiah Likely for this go-ahead touchdown.
26 for 42.
Absurd.
26 for 42, 348 yards, 4 tutties.
Damn.
Who says the man can't throw?
God damn.
Because most of those weren't like a bunch of run after catches. It wasn't like screen passes that popped. That was him pushing the ball.
And he went 12 for 55 on the ground.
yeah.
Derrick Henry had a nice game again, 15 for 92, man.
Right.
He's starting to run the rock pretty good. That's
No.
2 games in a row.
Another
That game
offensive
before
line that I
was
think
fucking
is
insane.
starting to come together
Yep.
better, and you're getting
You
more
gotta give
out of
teams-
the skill positions because of it.
You got to give teams. We always get knee jerky the first month of the season, right? You got to give teams a little time to develop him. And even now, we're not at like 100% as to what the teams are going to be.
Sure.
It still probably takes another month, about halfway through the season. If you don't have an identity 8 games through your fucking season, you have a problem, right? Whether you're winning or losing with said identity, I almost feel like it's just better to have one and know who you are as a team rather than just be like, well, one week we do this and the next week we do that, and sometimes we do this good and sometimes we do that good, and like you gotta nail it down by that. The most successful teams do that.
Joe Burrow goes 30 for 39 for 392 and 5 touchdowns.
And
was good.
loses
And a pick.
and loses.
Jamar Chase had 10 receptions for 193 yards and 2 touchdowns.
And
T. Wiggins
loses.
had 9 catches for 83 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Damn. Oh my god.
That hurts, man.
And guess what they did on the run game?
Uh,
Chase Brown had 12 carries for 46 yards.
Yeah,
Zach
run
Moss
game.
had 9 carries for 24 yards.
Run game has not been there for Cincinnati.
That's
the defense
70
has killed
yards,
them.
yeah.
Averaging 3.1 yards a carry. That is not getting it done. That is also not helping.
It's not.
And defensively, and I really like the Bengals defensive coordinator, their back end is awful.
Yeah, correct.
Them losing Bates
Yeah, that hurt
and the
a
other
lot.
safety, and now they have no corners.
Dax Hill was out this.
And
this
he's not
game
even
as well.
shouldn't be a corner. He should be more like your nickel. He shouldn't be your outside.
But either
dude.
way, like, yeah, no, they're thin on the back end, and it's getting thinner. Taylor Britt hasn't played up to expectation yet this year.
1 in 4, boys. That's the Bengals. Are.
We out on the Bengals the way that has looked. I mean, because of the things that we just mentioned, I don't think they're going to be a playoff team.
I don't know
this
if they
year.
can make it.
I mean, fuck, man. You're looking at a game where Burrow literally did everything. 5 tuds, 30,
Yes.
and they still lost. He gave you that is
You have-
pro that is all pro numbers.
Unless you fix the back end here in a hurry, there's no way.
Right,
Dude, they
because he can't go out there and he can't play defense.
Last 2 games have been where the Bengals put up a bunch of touchdowns.
Yeah, Chase looked insane the week before as well. No, so you can't put it on the offense. So that's unfortunate. And I
Dude, you're
I-
1 in.
I know, and I
You're
have
1
them-
in 4,
I
dude.
can't. I got to die on that ship. I have him in my Super Bowl.
You're
I
one-
have to die on that ship.
You're 1 in 4.
I get it.
Dude, you're in a hurt. You got to start turning shit around.
Oh, it's real bad.
tomorrow.
The Tigers are back there licking their wounds.
Dude, and they have some tough games on that schedule too. So
Yeah,
I
dude.
don't know, man.
No, I'm not. The whole AFC North is fucking brutal.
Right now, the
is.
Steelers
That's
are
another
playing. Their
great division.
defense is pretty good.
Well, that's
man,
not
you're
clear.
gonna
Very
have,
good.
you're gonna have to play against that defense
Twice.
Twice. You still haven't played them once yet. You still get to get the Ravens again. You still have to get. They just who else do they have?
Cleveland.
Cleveland sucks. We're about
God,
to talk about
Deshaun is so bad.
that. They're not
He's
sitting him.
so
Dude,
bad.
start Jameis.
He's
Are you fucking kidding
so
me?
Bad. He missed 7 to 10 open wide receivers today.
Let's hold on. That game's not next. The worst game of the night, which we won't spend a lot of time on. Dolphins beat the Pates 15-10. Kind of boring. Don't really see
Kind of
much
expected.
Don't really see much of either of these 2 teams. So
No, one of them had to win.
They're
Basically,
playing
is that
for
kind of game.
top 5 picks.
let's
Yeah.
touch on the next game, which I think this team. I said I thought they're closer to the Cowboys than they were to the Giants. The Washington Commanders 34 against the Browns at 13.
That was one of our winners.
Jaden Daniels is balling, boys. That offense is rolling. Cliff Kingsbury is rolling, and I hope he doesn't take an offense. I hope he doesn't take a head coaching job. I hope
think
he
he's gonna
stays.
get an offer, though,
he's going
dude.
to. I hope he just stays and be's a offense coordinator. It's fun seeing. He's not a good head coach. He's a damn good offensive coordinator.
He is. He is definitely a better coordinator than he is head coach. But what if the Bears just fizzle?
Or the Raiders are fizzling too.
But there's already that connection with Caleb. It would just make a lot of sense if they're like, hey, you want to be our head coach?
Because we got to remember, there's also the Texans OC and the Lions OC, Ben Johnson and Bobby
Yep. Top candidate, Slowick.
Slowick. Yeah, you still have both those dudes. So those are 2 top coaching candidates right now. That
Yep.
if you're a defensive team like a Matt Eberflus or somebody like that,
Flores as
you
well.
got to be looking that way. Flores, though, you got to wonder. You got to go. You going defensive coach
If it's the right situation.
Correct.
If he's
if you have the right quarterback.
Yes, that's the most important.
If
part.
You
he's
can't have a
coaching-
rookie quarterback.
If he's coaching a team to give up 10 points in a game, yes,
But you gotta be
he's
able
your
to-
coach.
But you got to be able to
Like,
develop an offense. He had no offense.
that
with-
can score 10 points a game. We can develop that. I'm bringing this fucker in. If this is what he can bring to the table, we can figure out the offense. But it does fall under him to bring in the proper regime
Correct.
and to put the people in the right butts in the right seats. So I do get that. I understand the point you're making, and I don't disagree. I just sometimes it's like when you're building a character for a video game and you bump up certain aspects of him and you just suffer on others. Like,
Well, yeah,
you
and
choose
maybe you don't
where
get
you
it
put
right
your action
the
points.
first time, but the second time around, you have a better understanding of what you're
1000%,
doing.
yeah.
Makes better choices, and that's all the difference.
But I also think he doesn't feel like he needs to jump to a head coaching position, meaning he won't go to one where he's not certain that he will succeed.
Sure.
Because why would he? If he's doing this,
He's killing
you've
it.
always been, you, Downey, have been a long time believer or sayer of those who should be coordinators should just stay coordinators. Josh
Some people
McDaniels
are
is a fucking perfect
coordinator.
example of that. He
There's a
tried
lot.
twice.
There's a lot, man. Look
and
at
failed
Steve Spagnuolo.
miserably.
Look at Spags. Spags
Yeah,
is killing it. And
it's true.
Look at a defensive coordinator for the Bucks. Look at there's a couple others like Cliff Kingsbury, the defense coordinator for the Bucks. He used to coach. Wasn't he the Jets coach?
Well, no, Bulls is the head coach down there. Their DC. Who's their DC in Tampa?
I'm blanking right at the
Me,
moment.
I
Oh,
am
not Tampa.
too.
I meant the Broncos. Sorry, the Broncos.
Not Van. No, it's oh god, Vance Joseph.
Yeah, Van
go.
Joseph.
Yeah.
And then look at Fangio, defensive coordinator. Those guys are just better at doing that. Rex Ryan probably would have been he was an amazing defensive coordinator. He was a so-so head
I was
coach.
gonna say he had some schmeh seasons. as
But
head
think of
coach.
how great of a defensive schemer Rex Ryan was.
Sure.
Even on those teams. Those teams are always dangerous defensively.
So I guess the point to this is that, if you really do know what you're good at, why would you take on more than you can be good at?
I mean, if you get that offer, though, you're gonna take that chance. It just
Maybe
might-
the first time, but if you get fucking murdered and you realize that, like, hey,
Well,
dude, I'm really
eventually,
good
I
at
think
this,
the league
but I'm
will tell you
not
that,
really.
though.
Yeah,
Like
yes,
with McDaniels, I
the
think
phone
no one's
stops
offering
ringing.
him the
The
head
phone
coaching
stops
job going
ringing.
forward.
1000%. The
might-
fact that he got the second one in Las Vegas was pretty absurd, but also
No.
that still feels weird to say. The Vegas Raiders, like, I just normally call them the Raiders, but I always still want to call back to Oakland. Like,
The next game, the Jaguars offensively play like the Jaguars that I thought they could be and
They
get a dub
needed
at
that
37-34.
they needed that win.
I've been checking some stats lately. And you're kind of keeping track because I kind of been dying on the Trevor Lawrence Hill. Dude, his completion percentage up to this game has been dog shit. Whether that's not being in sync with the receivers, whether it's the offensive play calling, whether it's the offensive line, they don't run. Today's the first day they really ran the ball well.
Yeah, and I think that was the difference, really.
And maybe he wasn't under pressure as much, but his completion percentage was way higher this week.
Well, and even though his completion percentage isn't that high, it was better this week, of course, but I feel like he dumps it off a lot. And to have that low of a completion percentage when you're dumping the ball off underneath, that just...
And this week
What is
This week he was hitting Brian Thomas a lot.
Brian Thomas had a
big
game.
That's my guy. But yeah, I don't know if it's like
he
the Doug
threw
Peterson.
a couple of dots to Kurt, too.
Dude, Kurt had a good game
Yeah.
again. Like, where's the Trevor Lawrence from 2 years ago where it was Zay Jones and Christian Kirk were lighting it up? Is it play calling? Is it offensive line? He's having enough time. No run game, so he doesn't have enough time.
Maybe it's a loss of confidence because of some of the things that happened, too.
Right, because I mean,
Like-
he got hit a lot last year. He was like one of the most hit quarterbacks. So when you start getting hit, dude, you don't want to get hit. So is that like the
Well, I only
check
bring
down Sally type shit?
I bring that up because the little bit of that game I watched today was he threw a pick in the double coverage.
That's never good.
It was a bad red ball. Like,
yeah. And things like that just make me question, what it's
What's
what's going on there.
It's
So-
I really don't know. I think their offensive line's smeh, but their skill position should be better. And Bigsby had a great game. ETN's really not been a factor this year.
He's been good, not great.
Yeah.
He's got some tuds and some yards, but he hasn't been a game breaker.
Correct.
Tank
To
Bigsby.
this point, Tank should be the number one, and Travis
I think
should be
this,
the number two.
I think
Me
that's
too.
what this game kind of just. I mean it. They figured that out. They won this game on the back of Tank. To be
we
fair,
don't know that
like,
for sure, but we'll see going forward.
he had
should
what
be.
2 touchdowns and like 100 and some odd yards. No, Bigsby was a
And
monster today.
Before he was hurt,
Bigsby had
early in
13
the
carries
season,
for 101.
He was good too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I
2
mean,
tutties. So
on 13, bruh. That's it. That's all it took him. 13 touches for all that.
Colts Flacco went 33 for 44.
Flacco balled, dude.
Can we just
Flacco
give up the can Shane Steichen just go get a quarterback that's like a quarterback so this team can just be like impressive? They have Flacco throwing to these dudes where you have Pierce going 3 for
He was
134.
dotting
Can-
Pierce, bro.
Can we get this
dotted
team
that
a
fool.
fucking quarterback?
I know. I agree.
These
I agree.
skill positions are so sick.
you
They
know-
are for Indy. Indy has some
Give me
really
a
good
fucking
skilled
quarterback on
players.
this team.
You know what I think it says even more so? I was having this conversation
Bryce
with my
Young?
pops earlier as I was watching this game. Is that
I mean, Kirk Cousins might be available after
but
this season.
I think what?
Well, I mean, they drafted Penix, so he's probably there's a chance that they move on from him.
Not the way he's been playing. No way, Kirko just went for 5 and a
500,
yeah,
dude.
dude.
That was
That
record
was
setting,
insane,
dude.
dude.
On fucking
Matt
Matt
Ryan.
Ryan's night, dude. Dude, that was crazy. It was his record he beat.
Yeah.
yeah.
Kirk Cousins
come on,
has
We
bro.
didn't even talk about that thing yet.
Oh yeah, we forgot
No,
about
that's
that.
the
That was the
throwback
Thursday
game.
game.
Yeah,
that
we
was
missed
the-
it.
That was the opening game. That was the Bucks Falcons. If you guys watched that, that was probably the best game of the
was
week
lit.
overall. Yeah. That was insane.
Boy,
the end
boy.
of that game was fucking bonkers, dude. Kirko went for 505 and
And
4
London
tugs,
looking
5
fucking
tugs.
good.
Finally getting the target share. Finally getting looks at.
Pitts, not so much.
Pitts had a good game.
Pitts finally stepped up and had
This was
himself
his best
a
game he's
solid
had of
game.
his career.
Mooney's been better, though. He's been their number two.
Mooney's
Yeah.
been on fire.
Yeah, Mooney's been for
Um,
a 2. He's been electric.
Kirk goes 42 for 58 for 509.
58.
4 tutties, 1 pick. Bijan only had 61 yards on 12 carries, so that's still average of 5. London goes for $154. Mooney goes for $105. Pitts goes for 88, and Hodge with the game-winning tutty goes for 67. Even Ray Ray's
Hodge,
been
man.
Ray's even had
Ray
a really
Ray
good
McLeod,
year, dude. He
the
got
third.
66 again. He's
So-
been around that 60-50 mark every
Seattle
game.
didn't even run 58 plays on offense today. Kirko had 58 attempts.
Dude, he's been balling, and we thought this team would look like this, or at least I thought that this was.
Yeah, we all picked him to win the South.
Yes, correct. But to be fair, it wasn't. I honestly
But the
didn't
Bucks
doubt
played
the
good too.
offense. I was doubting the defense until they made those signings of fucking Judon.
And they're getting better.
Dude,
They're slow kind of to start.
It was 36-30, so they did give up some yards. But the Buccaneers are 3-2 too, man. They're playing good ball.
Baker Mayfield has really
He
stepped
only
into
he only
his
had a
own.
$180 thrown. That's kind of. I thought he had more in the 30 and 30.
But he had 3 tuds, right?
Let me pull it back up. I think he did.
I mean that's
He did have
nice
3
even.
tutties.
Yeah, you can't.
Rashid
So
White
efficient.
went for 72.
Okay,
And Bucky
his best
Bucky
game.
went for 44, and even Bake went for 42 on 6 carries.
There you go.
Godwin, but the receiving yards are high. Obviously, Godwin was 64, but Mike Evans 2 tutties
Yeah.
on 60 yards. Dude, he is so underlooked. We say this all the time. I am a
underrated.
dude.
If you don't view Mike Evans as bare minimum, you probably can't put him top 5, but top 10, right?
I mean, that's
But for
the
the
question.
last
He
7
should be
years.
brought up more than he is.
It's-
He's
where
closer to
is
the
he?
5.
Where, dude?
He's definitely in the
6-ish?
10.
I would have to run through him. Mike
6-ish.
Evans been in but he's always
a
number 6.
stud.
He
He's-
always is better.
But I would throw a ball his way.
I would
if the
take
game
him-
is on the line.
I would take
and
him
he's-
every day.
I'm hucking it to that dude.
With Jordan, with JJ,
Dude.
with all of them, with all
He caught passes from a lot of shitty quarterbacks too earlier in his career, dude.
Mike Evans, I'd put him up there with last throw of the game with Jefferson and all those guys.
Oh, absolutely. No, he is very underlooked. What is it? I guess it's just because he doesn't have that game breaking
It's not the speed, I guess. I don't know, but he has so many plays where
just-
where he's mossing people.
head top. Exactly. He's peeling it right off your
Dude,
cap.
I love watching that guy play
so
receiver.
good. Yeah, no, I agreed.
Another good game, Texans Bills, dude. The Bills dropped about 3 fucking bombs, dude.
JA was not good enough today.
But they dropped 3 bombs where Shakir had one down the sideline.
Shakir was hurt.
And who's 10 then?
10 is Shakir, but he did not play today. 0. It was Coleman.
No, 10 played a little bit today. He dropped one of the bombs up the middle, like in the first quarter. Like wide open. Jay hit him right in stride, went right through his
Well, it was
hands.
no, because I know Shakir was out today, but it was Mac Hollins, Keon Coleman, Curtis Samuel, Kincaid, Knox. But I'm pretty sure number 10 did not play today.
I wonder if it was It was 15. It was MV.
Yeah,
it was
that's
MVS.
MVS.
Right
Yeah.
through his motherfucking hands.
That's kind of
dude.
his
MO in the
card,
regular season, yeah.
Yeah, that's
He
what I was
plays-
about to
Dude,
say.
right
He
through his
plays.
hands.
He plays one good game every postseason. If you can get him to the postseason, he'll give you like a wild card or a divisional round where he's insane.
Max Hollins dropped the ball too.
Oh,
I
he
like
dropped
it.
a couple of wide open
Dude,
motherfuckers.
one
dude.
was.
Yeah.
JA missed a lot of some of his out routes, but he hit 2 bombs on the field that were touchdowns to each of those guys, and they both dropped.
That's been the Bills' weakness. It finally showed up because
It
they
did.
were playing great ball at the beginning of the year, but
Their drops are starting
That
to-
was the worry. There is the receiving.
Oh, big time.
You're correct, Trev. Their drops are getting kind of.
It's caught up to him the last 2 weeks.
He
I
was
still
not-
think they're going to be probably the. I mean, they're fighting for the best.
They got
of
to
the
figure
East.
something out because JA was 9 for 30 today. That's awful.
9 for 30.
Yeah.
Is that what you just read to me?
Yeah.
Wow, we.
Keenan Coleman had 5 targets, only 1 catch.
I mean, the drops definitely hurt, but that's a.
Dalton Kincaid had
Wow.
6 targets, only 2 catches. Max Hollins had 6 targets, only 2 catches.
9 for
Fuck,
30
man.
is.
And some of those
That's
are dropped.
rough.
And
That's
some,
unbelievable.
And Scanlon had 3 targets and no catches, and some of those are all drops.
It would be really nice to go back and run
Love
the
to see the
comparison to whose fault it really was in
That's
the
what
sense of like the QBR versus QB rating, right?
Correct. That's like that. That's why when those teams get their 22s, where you get the overhead look of everything, and you can like pick that shit out.
And on the other side, like I was very high on the Texans coming into the year, and they're just continually getting a lot of penalties. They're full of penalties. That team discipline has been an issue thus far in the season.
Well, they're super young overall, like especially
That's
at very
definitely,
important
I think, the big
positions.
part of it.
They're super young, like in a lot. I think they're the youngest roster in the NFL. Like, and they have a young coach.
Their run game's kind of
So-
struggled, he told.
Well, because Mixon's been hurt.
Yeah.
Ogunbowale and Akers both had a fairly good game today. I mean,
42 and 30, but I mean,
and a tud for one of them. Like, and
They've been missing
Ogunbowale had a bunch of catches. Dude,
That other
so
running back that they had too, Pierce who
right,
had
so-
the good rookie year, but
so
last
they're-
year was not so
They're
great.
technically playing their backup running backs
It's like
right
their
now.
third
You know,
and
exactly,
fourth
third and
back.
fourth, exactly. So they're being efficient with that.
and the catches look kind of weird too. Let me get you this. Stephon had 6 catches, right?
He had
Collins,
Nico had 2,
he
but
was
they're
great,
big. But
yeah.
they're big catches.
well, he
got
also,
hurt.
yeah.
Uguale had fucking 6 catches.
That's what I told. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like he was pitching out of the backfield a lot. Like which I think the Texans
I think
are.
they're 4-1, man. They're on
They've,
the
and
right.
if they haven't clicked. They've had one click, but if they click that second
Once,
time,
if they do that, then they're going to
they're
be a
off.
team to beat.
Pew! They're gonna be on a dynamo fucking path.
It's going to be interesting. Bills have had 2 rough weeks in a row.
Yeah,
now.
very much so.
Who do they got next? I'll look it up.
This
I got
this
it.
was a little
The
bit
Jets.
better.
That's a division game right
That
there.
is
in,
big.
in Buffalo or
And
in
both of them.
in New York.
Right, they've
Or
already
Jersey,
played.
I guess.
They've already played. This is their second time playing.
Monday night.
And it's a Monday night
Haven't,
game.
night.
Yes,
haven't,
baby, I
haven't the
love
Jets and
that
the
so
Bills already
much.
played this season or no?
No, this is their
okay.
first matchup.
Can I get one of those other ones a crack, my friends?
Well, no, because I got a lot of beer to drink. See,
Where'd that open? Let me grab you this opener as well.
Thanks, Trev.
You're welcome.
Appreciate
sir.
it, buddy.
We
Such
got
an
an
enabler,
Oktoberfest
Trevor.
coming up.
such an.
I guess I'm gonna enable myself.
Enable yourself.
Cheers to you.
So here's our next bet of the week that won. Wait, our Commanders won, and then our Vikings won. So this is the last bet of the week that won. Packers over the Rams, 24-19. The Rams are still fighting, boys. I'll give it to them. That's a team that's not going to lose any fight.
Yes, I've been a little surprised because of all the injuries.
Dude,
I
they're
thought
hurt
they
as
would have a
fuck.
harder time, but they've put up a good fight.
Dude, they're playing really good ball right now.
I think that speaks to the coaching.
I've been preaching it.
I know, and I
Big
don't
Man's
want to. I don't
good
want to
coach.
give as much love to the LA Rams.
I think you guys got a lot of good.
already,
I
buddy.
think you guys got a lot of good coaching in your division. Even Jonathan Gannon, I think, is a pretty studly coach.
He had himself a
day
day
today.
today.
We'll get to that in a little bit.
Fuck, I'm sorry.
But the Packers 24-19. Packers get them back on track after having a slow first half last week and then coming unglued in the second half and almost coming back. Dude, I thought they were actually going to get that game for a second.
I was worried when Jordan Love threw that pick six.
Yeah, he did have a pick. He still gets a little reckless. That's my one knock on him still. He's got to get less unreckless with the football. I think he throws some very good job, Charlie. I see you.
I see you.
I see you cleaned it. That a boy. I feel he still gets a little reckless with the football that's my still. You gotta stop. His picks are going to be up again this year.
I mean, it bodes into your Josh Allen love in the sense of he's gonna be that guy.
He hasn't been that guy this season or this year.
Yeah. Fucking
last game and this game, he's been questionable.
They've been. I think the
last year, Josh Allen.
I think the
first
receivers.
three
I think
games.
the receivers are starting to come alive. Not alive. I think that's the weakness we thought there was going to be. It's starting to
it's
make.
definitely not the strength of that team.
But the Packers fucking both Dubs and Watson both hurt. So you're
Dobbs was suspended.
Yeah, he got the boot.
He missed a practice.
Conduct detrimental to the team.
They suspended him a game for missing a practice.
Why did he miss the practice? That's my guy.
Wait,
Damn
that's why they suspended him.
Yes.
I didn't read into
That
details.
was why.
One practice.
One just yes.
One regular like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday practice or whatever.
That is what I read.
Fuck, dude, get out of here for that.
I don't know.
mean,
You don't
missing
show
a
up, dude.
practice,
That's
though.
pretty heavy.
I
No
get it.
call, no show.
I get it,
That's-
but you fine him.
You don't
and-
have an
and-
excuse.
No call, no show.
What did he say?
I don't know. I'm sorry.
But not a great day for receivers. Kraft are one of the tight ends they drafted last year. Had a good game, 4 for
He's
88.
been the better tight end to that group. Musgraves, everybody was
off
high
and on.
on him,
He's
but
been off.
Musgraves
he
has
has.
been a number two.
Jalen Reed, 4 for 78. He's just a burner, man. And then Wicks, 2 for 20, and Jacobs 1 for 21. So not a lot of stuff going on there.
Before we get into the next game, how about a cheers?
Ooh, Kyron Williams for the Rams. Let's finish up this real quick.
Oh, yeah,
Kyron
yeah.
Williams goes 22 for 102.
Kyron Williams has been good.
Dude, Matt Stafford goes 29 for 45. He hits with Whittington. Who's that guy? Jordan Whittington, 7 for 89.
Who's that
Who the
guy?
fuck knows?
Yeah.
Tutu Atwell is their best receiver, 658. Your boy Colby Parkinson, 752. Demarcus Robinson, 3 for fucking 28.
752.
Some
shout
dude
out,
we've
Colby.
never ever heard of leads them with 7 receptions for 89 yards.
Welcome to the McVay
Stafford
style
getting
offense.
it done with
Nobody's.
not as one
Nobody's.
or two. So yeah, I probably was low on Stafford. Fuck, but Purdy's look good. Fuck it.
He threw 2. Yeah, you're good. He's been good. Can we get a cheers, Charlie? Over here?
Cheers, baby.
I'm just trying. I don't know. Cheers. I don't know if anybody can pronounce this beer or this brewery or.
We're just drinking.
So this is not the first time I've had this beer. I actually had this at Beefy's because they have this there as well.
I like that.
I do like this.
I like that.
And being a 5'8" too.
Yeah, there's no way Zach's trying to pronounce this shit. It's a good
It's
beer.
very German.
Look it up on X and Instagram. and
Oktoberfest.
You can pronounce it yourself. It's an
It's a
Oktoberfest beer.
Marzen Authentic Bavarian Festival Lager, 5.8. This is definitely. Let's
Excuse
see.
me.
You're very excused.
Danke.
Yeah, product of Germany, for sure. Brewed and bottled. Yeah. Oh, dude, Franz. My whiteness should be able to work through this. Franz. Nope.
Nope.
Ich bin ein Berliner.
You're not far off. It is definitely Inselkammer. Anyway, bro, this is German as fuck. It is also tasty. I love me some Marzens, dude. Oktoberfests are always good.
I do enjoy a good.
It is
Oktoberfest.
tasty.
You literally can tell this is from Germany. They're not trying to hide it.
So actually, there is no other games other than the
No other games.
us 3. So
Oh, we're
I'll start
getting to
first because I'm
those.
the piece of shit team of the group.
I mean,
We had another massive letdown. Should have been up 17-3. Minshew throws a 100-yard pick.
Ooh, that was so,
That ended the game. It
that
seemed like it
was-
took the air out,
that
but we
was
still
definitely that
through the
it.
first half we still move the ball and then just would get on the other side of the 50 and have to punt. I was only able to watch it through my phone. I was helping my dad move. I couldn't actually see it.
This is what
Aiden O'Connell needs a start from now on. And then there's got to be decisions made on every level. If this is not the way it's going, like Pierce has got to be judged on his coaching skills too. I think he's made some poor decisions before this. I don't know. Today wasn't his. The Panthers, I don't know what you got to blame that on every person throughout the whole building. How do you get your ass kicked by the Panthers? And then your calls against the Chargers were awful. And you did make bad calls in the second game too. You just got away with it, and the guys made some good plays. But you've had a game against the Browns where you look resilient. You had a game against the Ravens where you look resilient. Every other game has kind of been the Charger game was a letdown on your coach. The other two games have been a letdown on the players. You look like fucking shit today.
That's what I was a little bit worried about with the Raiders. Is I like a lot of the players they have on that defense, but that offense.
But the defense is now kind of beat up. Like Crosby's not playing every snap. Your safety Epps is out.
Huge. Because Crosby is your guy.
Diablo's out. He's such a good linebacker, so you're rotating there. It's a rough. That's why last week was a nice win. You had so many people hurt, and then the Devontae stuff doesn't help. But yeah, it's not looking good. I after this game, I might kind of expect to be a top 7 pick. So hopefully, when we trade Devontae, we trade him to somebody that can give us more picks, and maybe we make something happen. But it's not looking good with
play right now.
It's not looking good with the way you played against the Panthers and today.
Devontae, 100% gone.
100% gone.
Wow.
I mean, there was rumors.
I agree with that. I think
talks last season. And now this season, it just seems like a
conclusion. You should have beat the Chargers, and you shouldn't have lost. You should have had a winning record going in this game, and you were going to go up 17-3, and all of a sudden just didn't do anything. The second half was horrendous. There was 40 yards in the second half. That's giving up.
And then
one of you two fellas can go after that. I got my speed
you want
out.
next, or you want?
I might as well, dude.
All right.
I mean, the Seahawks fall to 3-2, and
It's a rough loss,
our defense cannot tackle. We can't tackle Daniel Jones. We can't tackle a brand new rookie.
I thought that defense was going to be better with that new coach.
And they had been up until
The run game's been kind of killing you, huh?
Dude, the middle, it's crazy. I thought we had fortified the middle of our defense. Holes right now. Swiss cheese in the middle of that fucking defense. And today was the first day we started missing tackles. We missed several important tackles. We made a couple of key ones too, but we missed way too many tackles.
Is it your linebackers?
Yes, linebackers, and even our cornerbacks are not keeping their heads up sometimes when they Spoon tackles with his head down. Now, he'll fucking crack you one, but he can't wrap up. He's and same with Reek Woolen. He doesn't wrap anybody up.
It's just diving.
Basically, yeah. If they don't get you with momentum, if you can break their momentum tackle kind of thing, then yeah, you'll get by them. They don't wrap very well. Spoon can, but no. And then we had an opportunity. It was 20-23, and we had an opportunity to kick field goal, and they jumped the A gap. They said it was clean, even though they held my center down. It's crazy. I didn't know this was not. You can apparently do this. So the guy in the B gap on the other side of the center pushed him down as soon as the ball was snapped. Then the guy on the other side of him hopped over in between the guard and the center. So he didn't technically hop over the center, but he hopped within that gap. But he was held down by the guy on the. Anyway, we didn't look good really at all. We had a couple of really good snappy plays, a couple of it's just been a weird roller coaster for those since Monday night happened where we were competitive. We had 38 first downs.
Yep.
We didn't even have, I think we had barely 40 plays by the end of this game. It was nuts.
Excuse me, sorry.
And that is the only reason why we were even competitive. Their first drive, they drove down all the way, and their guy fumbled as he was crossing the goal line. We recovered it and ran it back for a touchdown. We should have been down 14-0.
I think if they had kept Saquon, that team would actually kind of be really good. Not really good. That team would be very competitive.
Having him in Neighbors, and Neighbors was out that game.
Do you want to hear the most disgusting part? And so was Singletary.
He's been their best offensive
No, Slayton murdered us.
Slayton went off.
Slayton murdered us. We could not, I don't know why. Darius Slayton is a good receiver, don't get me wrong. It's not like this guy is unbeknownst. This was his 600-plus yard game, so it's not to say that he's never done it.
Sure, but
like,
he's not a number one.
He was today.
He was today.
Dude, Daniel Jones,
Daniel
I'll tell
Jones
you, man,
played good today. He threw
very,
a couple
very
balls.
much did.
But when you give him protection, like he's
Honestly,
like okay,
he was
he's like
making
every other
some of
quarterback.
his luck, though. He
did move out of
He
the pocket.
ran through a couple of motherfuckers' faces too. Like I'm serious, dude.
He's a good
I
runner.
just love that phrase.
Yeah,
He's
shout
a
out
good-
Marshawn.
He's a good runner.
He was today too. He used his athleticism, and I mean in a physical sense. He moved some of my linebackers back a couple of plays. Like he was good, and I have to be non-biased. It sucks, and losing the way we did with that we should have tied it and brought it into overtime. It was 55 seconds left. We drove down in the fourth quarter. It was beautiful, and we set up Myers with like a 48-yarder. See, he still could have even missed it had he, gotten it off clean. But like
DK fumbled again today,
they
right?
sure
That's
did.
2
And
games in a row.
And those ones have broke.
They've both
the
gone for
script.
touchdowns, right?
The
Both-
following drives have both. Yep. Correct.
Not like the recovery, the
No,
next
right.
offensive
The
possession.
And it has flipped the script on.
I saw that. I
momentum.
saw
Yep.
that. I saw both. I saw the fumble last week. I didn't see this one, but I saw it. That
This
DK
one,
fumble. I was
this
like, oh,
one
shit.
was it's like both of them were within like I mean, if another half second would have gone by, he would
Touching.
have been down. Yeah, it was they were both super close. The first one he was trying to do too much. This one was just you got
That's
punched.
rough. The doing too
you
much
just got,
one's
yeah.
rough.
No, that one's just like get the fuck down. Yeah. But this one was just it was just a good punch. Like you couldn't be mad at him. It just sometimes that shit happens. He had it tight. I mean, it was but fuck, man, you'd think a guy that big could hold on to the rock. God damn it. But overall, man, I got to tell you, this is just
3-2
right. Correct. This is that game.
winning
that
record.
Better than 2 and 3.
Correct. We're still first in the NFC West.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, you
And
are.
we'll continue with the NFC West. But I just want to say, it was, as a Seahawk fan, that was one of those games, you felt it. That shit happens. When we beat Miami so handily with a backup quarterback at home, we always let... Daniel Jones should not have beaten us today.
He played good though.
He played very well.
He's actually played really well in the last 2.
We should have won that game.
2 weeks, 3 weeks. He's
I-
actually played pretty well last at least 2 weeks.
I feel like we're a better roster when we let Thibodeau and Burns eat us up. And that's the last thing I'm going to say.
You let the running back
And Dexter
the running
Lawrence
backs, man.
ate us up. No, they were good. They were good on both sides of the ball. They were.
That defensive line though is really good
When it's going, it's going.
because you guys didn't run very well today.
No,
either.
you're talking 3 potential, definitely 3 Pro Bowlers with
Did
potentially
Burns
all
have
pros
any
as well.
sacks? Because he's been kind of slow to start.
He came super. Yes, he had one. He had a big one.
But they're not letting runs up. That defense line is playing really,
They
really
mushed
well
on
right
us,
now.
dude. Kenny Walker.
Two good running backs.
Yeah, no, they were both effective in the pass game, not really in the run game. We got them involved in the open field in swing passes or little out routes, stuff like that. That's how we got our balls to our running backs today. Yeah, up the middle was not.
That's rough when
Not
that's
working.
the way. That's rough.
The
It's
sweeps
a rough way to
weren't working.
It's a rough way to play a football game when you're a running team and you can't run. It's a rough. It's a rough way.
Seattle, boo.
It's also rough to lose by 1 point
Brrr.
to a division
It
opponent.
is. That's brutal.
23-24.
Ugh.
Especially
How'd that
when you
happen?
go into the half 23-10.
Yeah, didn't score in the second half
Then we didn't score in the second
rough.
half.
with an offensive coach.
Yeah.
He's not a closer.
This was the first time that they lost a game with this high of a lead going into the half.
Yeah, because the numbers aren't even crazy for the Cardinals when you look through them.
They're not.
Kyler only went for $195. Connor had 19 for 86. But and that's crazy. They were down, so they threw the ball. But it's 19 for 30 for $195. That's still okay.
Yeah,
He had one on the ground. He had a 50-yard rush right out of the gates.
7 for 83
Yeah.
for the tutty. So
Yeah.
that's 83 more yards.
it was a lot.
Give us a breakdown of your team. How do you feel about the Niners?
So the Niners, we lost Hargrave for the season. He's on
Yeah.
IR. We just lost Gross Matos, who we brought in free agency. And the defensive line has been I think our weakest position. We got guys coming up from the practice squad that are playing now for the defensive line because of those two injuries, and that was I think our weakness coming into the season. And Connor kind of exploited that. They were able to push us with their offensive line and just dominate in the second half with that run game. Purdy, he threw 2 picks. One was tipped at the line. The other one, he got hit when he threw. So it wasn't like he misfired. It was just he was under pressure.
Mason had a fumble.
That offensive line, that fumble was so costly too. Mason was so good up into that point, and it was just...
That fumble was in the second half?
Was it in the second half?
I would think so.
I think it was. I'm pretty sure we were going down in the third quarter to score. We were just getting into the red zone when he fumbled that ball. So those turnovers were very costly for the Niners. Ayuk finally started to play well.
Best game of the season, 8 for 147.
Yes. Purdy, he's been good. I don't know.
Was Debo out this game?
Yeah, Debo only had 1 for 11. Did he get hurt? He only had 3 targets.
Oh, no, he did not get hurt.
Debo was in this game? I was going to say, I didn't hear shit.
He was 1 for 11, 3 targets.
He was very quiet.
Jennings only had 1 for 13 and only 4 targets.
How many attempts did Purdy have overall? Give me
19. Kittle had
we only threw 19 passes?
Kittle had 12 and Ayuk had 12 targets. They ran the ball with Mason 14.
That's 24.
They ran the ball with Mason 14 times. Purdy had 4 runs. Isaiah Guerrero had 5 runs, and Debo had 3 runs.
Guerrero didn't look so bad, but on the play that Purdy got hit when he threw the pick, the guy came free.
Was that Guerrero's guy?
I think it might have been McKivitz, our right tackle. He took the guy on the outside where he probably should have moved in to get the guy coming on the blitz. But maybe that's a protection call that Purdy could have made. I'm not sure exactly.
That's tasty.
It's good. Are you all 2 and 3 after the Rams? Are the Rams 2 and 3? But I mean, after you, everybody's 2 and 3. The Rams have 2 wins too, or the Rams only got 1.
The Rams lost today, so they're 2 and 3, right?
Yeah, no, they're 1 and 4.
1 and 4.
So we're tied with the Cardinals, with the Cardinals having the tiebreaker after we losing to the Rams and the Cardinals already early in the season.
And have the
Number
Seahawks.
1 in the NFC West.
Yes,
But this game would tie up the thing, right?
Thursday night. Yeah. No.
In Thursday Night Football.
2 and 3 and 3 and 2. Yeah.
But Seattle lost in Seattle today. So is it in San Francisco or is it in Seattle?
Yes, it's in.
Well, I don't know what that means.
It's in. Correct. You asked me 2 questions.
It is in Seattle.
It's in Seattle because
yeah.
Is this the game that breaks the Niners back?
I fucking hope so, dude. But I'm not hopeful.
Or is this the game that brings the Seahawks back to earth as the Niners come alive?
500 for both teams are available.
I still think with the state of the NFC, the Niners should still make the playoffs, but they are not playing well to this point.
We didn't talk about did we talk about the Eagles last week before we go to fandom?
We did.
Dude, that team is not good.
I mean,
that coaching staff is awful.
Well, it's
Zach just wants nail it home, Downey. Let him know.
Yes,
fire Sirianni.
Dude, it is right.
Fire
Sirianni and Jalen Hurts not on the same page. It's going to lead to them not winning that conference, even though they're the most talented team in that division.
It feels like when they work, they only work for like this amount of time.
Correct.
And when that amount of time is happening, it looks insane. Yeah, it looks like a Super Bowl.
I know they're missing both receivers.
It's a marathon. It's not a sprint.
But we knew that was a weakness too. If Smith and Brown both went down, we knew that receiver core was weak.
Yeah,
and it is really showing. But I think Sirianni's not. I think he's made a lot of bad calls.
It's cost him games for sure.
The fact that they lost to the Falcons was absurd.
How did that happen?
Let's go Commanders. Jalen Daniels, top 15 quarterback.
Jaden Daniels.
This guy had him in there.
Who has him as offensive rookie? Oh, Zach.
Oh,
and
why wasn't he one of your top 15 quarterbacks, bro? Come on.
Because he's a rookie. Also, Zach had defensive rookie of the year, Jared Verse. Guess who won defensive player of the month for rookies? Jared Verse. Okay, so yes, he did.
All right, looking good so far, my man.
listen to some
let's jump
fandom,
into
then,
fandom.
Danny. Yeah, let's go.
So I went up to VC this weekend with Grayson.
What's that stand for?
Virginia City.
Okay.
With Grayson and Angelique, and we went to the out races. Man, that was fucking super fun, fellas. Like, you drinking on the streets, watching the out races. Like, so you have one person in, and they're kind of steering it. They're not pedaling it, and you build your outhouse, like whatever you want your outhouse to look like, and then two people on the back pushing. One guy pulled his hammy, dude. He went down, and he got disqualified because they let go. Because you have to keep all
contact.
Dude, it was awesome. It was so much fun. Virginia City itself, when shit's going down like that, that city is popping. Like, you had music in every single bar. It was just, it was a good time. We're going from like one bar, we were playing, me and Grace and Angela were playing foosball. We're playing video games. We're going to the next bar, listening to music. We're getting food at another place. Like, just a really, really good time up in VC for the out races. Totally think that you guys, everybody should check it out, dude. It was so much fun. Go up there next year. It's a ton of fun up there. And on any of them, ostrich races, any of that stuff, when they're doing something in Virginia City, that place is fucking rocking.
That's true. We went up there. What were we up there for? You and I. It was Josh and Kai were up there too.
That was for my birthday a couple years ago.
That's right. That was a good while. Yeah, that was a while ago. I done passed out before we went out.
Yeah.
That was not good. Life happens quick sometimes. Yeah.
Anybody else got anything for their fandom?
Honestly, man, I've been mulling over what I want to talk about on fandom, and I don't have anything that sticks out at the top of the charts. Do you?
God damn it, Chuck. I thought you would. I really don't either. I was, going to give a quick shout out to women's basketball because they got their playoffs going on.
Caitlin Clark, Rookie of the Year, and
Yes.
how do you say the other guy's name? Asia? The MVP? She
Yes.
balled out.
Just Asia Wilson.
Dude, she balled out, dude.
She did, but they just went down to Liberty. So Liberty just knocked them out of the playoffs.
Yep.
I mean, defending champs. Liberty's been one of those teams.
They were the two-time defending.
Two-time.
Well, yeah, they have Anescu, and they have...
That's who Liberty, and that's
yeah,
who they have all a bunch of ballers.
Stewart, dude, Brown, Stewart, Storm. Oh, come back. WNBA, we're just talking about it. You want to give love to the women? We can give love to the women. I love
them.
I loving the women. We be loving the women. Oh, shit.
But check us out, dude. There's some really good shit going on. Keep your eye on these baseball playoffs.
Please
Hockey
do.
and NBA
It's
is
gonna
coming.
get hot.
But the baseball playoffs have been good. Like,
Right,
the last couple of years,
absolutely.
we've been talking about how good each game is. It's not
Agreed.
just like, you don't really get the 7-0s. Like, you get a lot of close games. and a lot
3-2, 4-3.
or 7-6, or
Right,
like something where there's
5-2 is maybe the a 3-run difference is big in the playoffs.
right, because then you get the guys coming in at the end of the bullpen. Like, they're good games. Watch that. A lot of football coming up. Big Thursday night game. Definitely a big topic next week on the pod. And then college football next weekend. There's some big games. Oregon, Ohio State's fucking huge. It's going to be great to see each of those teams play a big time team.
Yeah.
Like, they've each had a lot of good wins, but not really like where they're blowing the smokes off of some of these teams. So that is a huge fucking game, I think.
Pay attention. Thursday night football is the only thing that matters in this household. San Francisco versus Seattle in Lumen Field.
Oregon, Ohio State's a bigger game for me.
Not at all. Doesn't matter.
But hopefully we keep this heater going now that we're
Hey
on
now,
the winning streak.
yeah,
and,
we in the
you
money.
know, we're figuring
We in
things
the
out.
money.
And we, follow our picks. They're posted on X and
Cheers, hey, you can't-
Instagram.
Look us back at history. You can't not drink on
Check
a
us
cheers.
out on Buzzsprout, YouTube.
Instagrams, Spotify, all that kind of good stuff.
You guys, wherever you get good podcasts, right? Buzzsprout, you know what Buzzsprout does? It's dope. It actually is just like a third-party applier. You download it from there, and whatever application you have, it lets you run it through. So if you have any of the Podcast Addict or any of the third-party is how you listen to your pod, go to our Buzzsprout feed. It's a lot more dope than you think it might be.
And beer tournament to come.
Yeah,
Dude,
we'll
so-
figure this out.
I love that. I love that. We do need to revisit that
We'll have to
beer
figure this
tournament. Pod 70
Coming up.
round in the corner.
Mark McGuire.
Oh.